Yo, it's Matt Forio, and today we are going to do something really interesting, really unique, something I haven't seen done in a long time, but something that is very important in uncovering the hidden mysteries of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and other video games found through the hidden files of their website. Now, if you don't know, all websites are built using a type of code, and for this website in particularly, and most websites, it is HTML, CSS. Now, what does that mean? Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's just a way of communicating to a server what to display information-wise. And then CSS, which is Cascading Style Sheets, that would be what makes a website look a certain way. It's the image, it's the design, it's the way everything is set up. Now, if you use a browser like Firefox, you can go to Tools, Web Developer, Inspector, and you can see all of the code that makes this website work. Now, this is very confusing, obviously. HTML is very foreign to the English language, even though it uses English words and a lot of abbreviation that comes from English words, but I can help you break it down a little bit and just look at the important things. I have taken an HTML course in college, so I do know the fundamentals of how HTML works. Not enough to actually type it from scratch, but enough to reverse engineer it, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So, you can see right here that you have several different options on this toolbar. You have Inspector, which shows you the HTML, and then Style Editor, which shows you the CSS. So basically, anything that you type in HTML is just going to be text. Literally nothing else except for text. Then you have to give that text an image using the Style Editor. The entire website uses a font face of Roboto. The font weight is 700. That font has to be stored on the website server or it won't be able to read it. And that's basically the extent to which the font is designed. If you go down a little bit more, you can see there's actually a different font face title for each language. So you have Greek, Vietnamese, Latin. The best thing you can do at home, if you don't know anything about this, is to open up the web developer, then go to Inspector, then perform a search. So Control F, Command F, and then look for JPG, PNG, some other image containers. And you'll find, for example, here's one, Image Assets V2 Top Hero 5. So if I were to copy that, right, you can copy that extension, and then you have to put it onto the URL. So it would be smashbrothers.com/that extension, and if you were to access that site, you would find this image alone. And that's how people that are doing what I'm doing now actually find the high-resolution images that are used in the website when normally you wouldn't be able to interact with it. So you can see just by breaking this down that the entire scrolling image right here is nothing more than a bunch of separated images combined that scan left to right in an infinite loop. So if I were to go into the Inspector and search for more JPGs, I would theoretically find all of the other ones that are labeled Top Hero 05, Top Hero 06. I could actually just go in here and reverse engineer the URL and go back all the way to 1 and find all of the images in order. So it's very interesting how the website labels these images as hero images. One thing I learned in HTML class is to give the images purpose, because basically the HTML is as easy as you let it be. If you were to name this image, you know, a bunch of random numbers, it would be really hard to access. So what they do is they make it easy on themselves by putting it in a folder called assets_v2. In that folder, you'll find a folder called image. In that folder, you'll find a folder called top. And in the top folder, you'll find all these images labeled hero 0 number _ English.jpg. So this is actually a file path. It's as easy as, you know, looking at a folder at home. that will be the file path if you were to have something stored within multiple folders. All it is directing you to that image from that assets folder, and you can go through every number here. You can find hero number 2, you can go back and do hero number 3, and let's see how far we can go up. Let's try 7. So yeah, it looks like 7 does not exist, so the highest it gets is hero number 6, and that perfectly lines up with hero number 1 because you can see Ridley's back and Duck Hunt and Game & Watch right here, and then that goes directly into hero number 1, which is Ridley's face, Duck Hunt, and Game & Watch. So just reverse engineered the opening for you right here, the top title screen. Pretty neat stuff. So now let's see if we can discover anything else that's interesting about the website or about any particular characters. Let's go to the fighters page. Okay, so you see you have Isabel at the top right here, and then when Isabel dissolves, you'll see that there are images containing random profiles of the characters. If I were to go under Tools, Web Developer, and Inspector, and then perform a search for JPGs, which would be images, let's see, we have another thing also located in the assets folder right here that we can take. Let's see who they have as Hero 1 PC. So this here is the high resolution image that you see when these images at the top scan back and forth. And you might ask, why is there a blank space? Oh my gosh, are we going to get an Echo Fighter of Dark Samus? Not quite. There is a space because they have this Super Smash Bros. Fighters thing right here. So they have loads of these images with fighters in different randomized orders laid out for them with a space in the specific slot so that they can have the fighters tab present and no fighter underneath. So interesting to see that that's how they designed that. Let's see if anything else is in the inspector for this page. So you have Fighter Thumb Donkey Kong. Naturally, I expect to find an image of Donkey Kong that we can click on exactly. So all of the fighters images are located right here, and you can see them. That Donkey Kong's image is right here. It is actually separated from the backdrop, so you can see that this image of Donkey Kong is likely transparent, and then the design, the backdrop of the black stripes and the DK logo is likely part of the CSS, or how the website interprets the creative design of all the characters. Now, what's very interesting is that through any sort of deductive reasoning, I should be able to come in here and replace Donkey Kong's name with Mario and find everybody else. So Luigi. So it looks like they have all these people's thumbnails, file path to assets underscore v2, image fighter, thumb underscore h, and then the character's name. So very suspicious why it's assets v2 as opposed to v1, and if there will ever be a v3. However, moment of truth here. If the website contains all of the image files of whomever will be coming to the Smash Bros. Roster, it stands to reason that if I were to create a URL for Geno, that we would see an image for Geno. However, file not found. So that either means that they're smart enough to not put a newcomer's image on the website when it's not being used, or that that character's image simply does not exist. So let's, again, try our luck with Incineroar, and file not found. Let's try our luck with Ken. File not found. However, if we were to perform a search for Ryu, a character that is in the game, then voila, we have Ryu. And of course, the most recent one, if we were to type in Isabel, so Isabel's file is not here. I wonder if she has a different name. So let's see if we can inspect Isabel. That's very interesting. So Isabel's name in the assets folder is actually Shizue, which is her Japanese name. That is interesting. So Isabel, even on the English website, is not identified by the name Isabel, it is by Shizue. Why am I getting Dracula right here? Dracula seems to be the name of the silhouetted image for their franchise. As you can see right here, I have this highlighted title. That's probably how they identify the silhouetted franchise of each character. Something else you can do at home. Say you really want to grab somebody's high resolution image. You can go on Pokemon Trainer, right, and then inspect it under the web developer and perform a search for JPG. And you can see background image. Yes, right here. Assets V2 image fighter Pokemon Trainer /BG. So if I were to access that URL, ooh, look at that. So you actually get the full image that is situated behind Pokemon Trainer that scrolls with the web interface right here, this golden image of Pokemon Stadium. And if you'd like to save this, you can just right click and save it. Let's say if I were to replace Pokemon Trainer's name with Villager. Yes, they do have the same naming convention. So you see, what, going back to the point where the language is important for organization purposes, that every character has their own thing right here with their name /BG, and you can basically find their background image. Here's Ike. You can just perform any search right here. Here's Ness. Ha, very cool. Let's see what else we can find on the Pokemon Trainers page. So if we go to the inspector and then perform a search for JPEGs, let's see, Pokemon Trainer /SS2. So it looks like that would be a screenshot, and the screenshot is the second that you find on the site. There it is, screenshot 1. I bet you my bottom dollar, if I were to go to screenshot 1, that I would find screenshot 1, and likewise screenshot 4. There we go. And if you were to replace Pokemon Trainer with, say, Mario, voila, Mario's 4th screenshot. If you wanted to do maybe Shizue as opposed to Isabelle, let's see if that works. Yes, Isabelle is still identified as Shizue even in the screenshot library. Take a look at a different part of the website, maybe stages. Let's see what they have here and how they identify each stage. Let's search under the inspector for JPG. Stage main 02, stage main 02, main 03, main 04. So it looks like they have these: stage image 1, stage image 2, stage image 3. It looks like they have them labeled by number as opposed to the name of the stage. Precisely, so that would be image 3. Let's see how far that goes. Image 10, 99. Bayonetta stage. Let's see how far we can go. 103 presumably is how many stages there are, and that would be the most recent Castlevania stage. 104, file not found. So there are, even to the T, 103 stages present on the Smash Brothers website, contrary to the 108 rumored by the magazine leak. And finally, let's take a look at the music. So it stands to reason that if you are able to find JPGs on here, you are also able to access the specific URLs for all of the songs that are on here. Search for MP3, which is an audio file. Nothing found. How about Wave? Nothing found for Wave. Huh, interesting. That probably means that the audio files are contained on actual HTML sites, or let's see. So this is the play button. Does it have a link? Here is a URL on YouTube. That's actually a widget, so likely let's get rid of the widget. We can reverse engineer this URL to find the exact YouTube link. So this is the URL. So let's just take a random YouTube URL and replace with that. Aha! So we have uncovered that the Smash Brothers website actually refers to private YouTube videos to play and loop all of the songs that are present on here. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and we will attempt to do this again when new content is updated on the Smash Brothers website. But for now, I hope you enjoyed it, I'm Matt for Yo, and that's all for Yo today.